been sort of an up and down journey with your penalty kill. How much is performance and how much is you've had to cycle through different personnel and get them?
Yeah, I don't think we can discount the fact that we've missed some key pieces. Obviously, we're down 4 of our top 9 forwards for a long period of time, all of them penalty kill. So that's part of it. But some of it has, for us, has been self-inflicted. We go back to the last few games. We look at a lot of film and certainly some things that we can control off face-offs that we can be better at. In the end, we have the people to get the job done. We haven't done a good enough job here recently, and we're going to look to turn that around against a really good power play here tonight.
So, maybe be even a little over specific, but a Domi goal or a couple other ones where a guy seems to have time to eye it up and shoot it. Mm-hmm. Is that at all a product of maybe these killers haven't been together and they don't know who's going there, or is that just a breakdown?
Well, you know what, I thought if you go back on that Domi goal, it goes back to the face-off. We won a face-off, we didn't get it clear, and that shot, I think ends up outside the dot. We weren't in the lane. We didn't get the save on it. It ended up in the back of our net. But I would trace that back to the one face-off and poor clear.
Okay.
What have you noticed about McDavid on the power play this year? I think he's got 9 power play goals and a bit of more of a nose for shooting. Or what are you seeing in his power play goal scoring?
Yeah, I think, we've talked about his overall game and his willingness to adapt or evolve as the game changes. A lot of things are occurring within the league that are different on the penalty kill. And, I think you see him having success from different spots. So the goals that he has scored all haven't been from the same look or the same not play, but the same area of the ice. He's moving around and he's taking what's given to him. And then it goes back to that killer instinct that we've talked about. I think when the play to be made is to shoot it, he's willing to take that shot, and obviously big factor in our power play.
What would your overriding thought be on your team's ability to, defend in your zone, transition the puck, and get going the other way? Is it where you want it to be, or how far away is it?
No, I don't think it's where we want it to be. I don't think our overall game has been where we want it to be for long enough. But I think you have to have a little perspective as well. I mean, we've suffered some major injuries. We're putting some people through in our lineup. We're testing our depth. And I think what I really like about our team is our peskiness, our persistence, our ways to find games under tough circumstances. We haven't been perfect, but we're finding ways to try and get results. And, for me, the team has found a way, and under tough travel, tough schedule, tough injuries, to win 4 of our last 5. And so I think that's a credit to the people that we have in our room that are in the lineup, that are finding ways, and we have to continue to do that. And I think in the long run, that makes you a stronger, harder team when it really counts.
Jay, when you acquired him, you had mentioned you didn't really know a lot about Clayton Costin. Now you've had a chance to see him. What have you learned about his game over the past month that you've liked, and maybe what you can see him grow into more?
Yeah, I was just talking in the coach's room there about how there was a face-off in Minnesota, and Ryan Reeves lined up on one side and Clem Costin lined up on the other side of that draw, and both were huge men, but both of pretty much equal size. So he's a size element that we've brought in. I think it's been a real good pickup for our organization. I think when he's at his best, he does a few things. One is he's physical. Number 2 is he plays straightforward. And number 3, he's simple with the puck. If he can follow that recipe, I think he can give our team good minutes, and he can carve out a niche in the NHL based on his other gifts.
When you evaluate, you know, your depth guys, obviously your big guys are scoring. So if your depth guys, you're not getting a ton of offense from them. How do you balance out well, they're not getting outscored. You know, do you balance, you know, whether it's, you know, the shot rate or the scoring chances? What do you look for outside of just the goals and assists from your depth guys?
Well, I think there are different ways to win games. We want to make sure, you know, and this goes to Ryan's question, we're scratching and clawing to try and find ways to win. And when you see Jesse Puljujärvi in the third period block a shot off a face-off, that's a positive sign. When you see Devon Shore above his check, working back to our end, that's a real positive sign. When you see Derek Ryan go out and make a play on the wall in the last 2 minutes of a game, that's a positive sign. So I think there are ways, while we're in this stretch, there are ways that people can find ice time and ways that they can help contribute to team wins. Not all of it just comes down to goals against, or excuse me, goals for, assists, that type of stuff. I think there's subtle ways that people can help, and with our injuries and with where we're at in our schedule, we need that type of continued effort and continued contribution.
So you've got Leon Draisaitl, a guy that scores often from the same place on the power play, and people know he's going to do it, but they can't stop it. And they got Ovechkin, who's been doing the same thing for even longer. Does coaching the Draisaitl power play make the Oilers a little smarter when it comes to stopping the Washington power play?
I didn't think we did a very good job in Washington. You know, so I would say not that night. You know, I think when you have the talent on the ice with Ovechkin shooting the puck or Draisaitl shooting the puck, I think what it does is it raises everybody's antenna. First thing is we should make sure that we're disciplined and not taking unnecessary penalties. Why would you want their skill or their best players to feel good and touch the puck a lot while on a power play? We're aware of where, you know, he takes his shots from, but part of the reasons why Leon can find those shots or he can find those shots is because they're surrounded by other threats. It's not just a one threat power play. There's multiple threats, and if you overplay in one area, well, that might open up Oshie, or if you overplay in a different area, it opens up Carlson. And on our power play, you look at some of the talent that we can put out there. You overplay Leon, then all of a sudden Connor finds shooting opportunities, or if you overplay Leon, Nuge finds a way. So you're aware the antenna's raised. Both teams have unbelievable skill that they can put out there in a 5-on-4 or 5-on-3 situation. Our goal is to make sure we check smart, check with our legs, and making sure that our sticks are on the ice, not taking unnecessary penalties.
Your Broberg and Bouchard pairing, two young guys.
Yep.
Maybe the instinct might be to pair Broberg with someone with a little more veteran experience. Why do you have those two together, and how do you think it's worked? How's Evan done in that role?
Well, I think Evan's in his third year in the National Hockey League, so he's not a rookie. And he got great experience on his playoff run last year, and working our way down the stretch. I think, Broby, you know, got his experience last year. I don't see him necessarily as, you know, being overawed by the experience or anything like that. I think they complement each other. I think what it's allowed us to do is put Barry and Kulak back together, which was a pair we liked. We're looking to spread minutes out and making sure that people are getting what they need. And, you know, I think the team's 4-1 ever since Broberg came back up. Thanks.